Hello there. It's a cool morning here in Tubbercurry in County Sligo, and I'm taking a walk through the forest. Just taking a few pictures because it's such a gorgeous morning. But I'm now 1 month, well, almost, in the countryside, in the Irish countryside, and I thought I'd give you guys a few of my thoughts on what it's like to live in the Irish countryside. Let's take a walk. So to start off with, I'm living in a small town here, and most people say, it's very secluded where I live, but most people would say that everybody knows everybody else in small towns. I can't say the same for myself. I like to keep myself to myself. Lovely little stream there. And I'll usually just frequent the same places. I usually just go out for lunch in Tubbercurry during the day. Now, the girls in there will know me, but they won't know my name. They'll know my face. But I sort of keep myself to myself. And I like it that way. Another thing I've really noticed about living in the countryside here is the quietness. It's just so peaceful and passive. Very little cars go by in the main road. Not that we'd hear them that much, but it's just so peaceful. The sunrises and the sundown in the evening are beautiful. The skies are amazing. I haven't got to see that many farm animals yet, but I'm hoping to see a lot more while I'm here. But just the quiet, it's just so peaceful. It really is, and I'm always getting a good night's sleep. The funny thing about living in the countryside is everything is so far away from you, Well, when I was living in town, I was never more than 15-20 minute walk to the nearest shop or supermarket, just to pick up supplies. Whereas here it's like Tubbercurry is about 10 kilometers away, which is about 15 minutes car journey. And then we have the other town, which is not coming to my head at the moment, which is about 6.5 kilometers away. So but there's very little in that town. There's not much in Tubbercurry either, even though it is Sligo's second largest town, but there's not really that much in it. But it's funny how far things away are now, so you have to sort of plan your days. Probably one of the best things about moving to the countryside in Ireland is the difference in attitude of the people. Everybody down here seems to be so much more courteous and friendly, whereas in the city, you could come across where I've been, in Portugal. I was attacked once. That's happened in Dublin before. Down here, everything is a little bit more laid back. Everybody's a little bit more polite. And that's a really good thing, I treat everybody the same. Doesn't matter where they come from, what their background is, who they are. I treat everybody with the same respect. And you sort of, that's reciprocated. And the people do give you that respect back. And everybody seems so nice. And it's really nice in that way. It's really cool. There's the Ox Mountains behind me. Lovely there. But another great thing about living in the countryside here is the lack of people around. I do like my solitude, I'm a bit of a loner. I like to get out on hikes alone, camps alone. Sometimes I enjoy the company, sometimes I don't. But like, I'm doing this track this morning around Tubbercurry Forest Walk, and I've passed like 2 people already, and that's it. So yeah, the lack of people is really nice. I like it a lot. The weather is a lot different as well here on the west coast. We do get a lot more rain, but I don't mind the rain. You know, it's what gives Ireland its green colour, and that's why you get so many shades of the colour green, and it makes everything just beautiful, you know, especially after the rain and the sun hits it then, the sun glistening on the grass and stuff like that. It's really nice. But when it gets cold here in the countryside. You know, most places in Dublin where I've lived, yeah, like if it gets cold, frosty, snowy, there's people out salting the pavements and that. I've been slipping and sliding all day all morning. So yeah, nobody's out doing any of that stuff. When it's cold, it's cold. You just have to live with it. Another advantage to living in the countryside rather than in the city is the views. It's the countryside itself. You know, we have here in Sligo, to my left here is the Ox Mountains, and then to the northeast we have the Dartry range, and that's where Ben Bulben and that is. But yeah, you know, just driving anywhere, the views are so much better. You're not stuck looking at buildings all the time, you know, and people honking their horns at you. And as well as that, the traffic is not as heavy, so yeah, very seldom you'll get into a traffic jam. So yeah, the views around the countryside are a hell of a lot better than around the city. Another great thing about the countryside is the wildlife that you see here. Now, you do get wildlife in the cities, obviously, in Ireland and, you know, different parts of the world. I've seen a lot of parrots actually while I was in Spain, but the wildlife out here in the countryside is a lot different and a lot more abundant. You know, Graham, the guy who I'm living with, the old hiking geezer, he has a bird table out his back garden, and the amount of birds that you'd see there, you'd probably never see in this city, you know. You've got all sorts of tits and robins and stuff like that. I don't know the name of them all. Graham does. He seems to be a bit of an ornithologist. I'm not. But yeah, just seeing the wildlife here is amazing. It really is. And if I ever move back to the city again, I'm going to miss that a lot. So I've talked about the fauna, which is the wildlife, the animals, but what's great as well is the flora. You know, I love the trees. I love being in the forest. The different trees. I love spotting what kind of trees they are, trying to name them. I can't name them all, obviously, but I can name a fair few. But yeah, and then the plants as well. You know, you wouldn't find really that many plants in the city unless they were in a garden pot, you know, and not many people will actually have those. But yeah, the flora in the countryside is a hell of a lot better than it is in the city. There's also a severe lack of rubbish. I've noticed that about the country towns. Country people are very proud of where they come from. and you know, they won't drop litter on the ground, or if they do, you know, if they see litter, they'll pick it up and they'll bin it, you know. They're very proud of where they come from, and they keep the towns really, really clean. All the shop fronts are, you know, newly painted. Everywhere is really pristine, you know, and I love that about the country. I really do. People are so proud, and that's a really good thing. One huge advantage of living in the countryside rather than the city is how clean the air is. It's a lot cleaner. Oh, it's a beautiful morning. It's a lot cleaner here than it is in the city, you know, with the cars and the pollutants and stuff like that. And not only the air, the water too. We get our water straight to tap from Loch Talt, which is in the Ox Mountains, and you can just drink it straight from the tap, you know. There's no chemicals involved or anything like that. So yeah, the clean air and the clean water is not to be knocked. What's great to see too is the amount of agricultural work that is still being done in Ireland. I didn't realise it was so big, you know, until you come out here into the countryside and you see all the tractors and the farms and stuff. And it's great to see, because farmers are givers of life. You know, they make the food that we eat. And yeah, if we ever lose them, we'll never get them back. So it's great to see all that agricultural work still going on. So that's it. That's just a few observations I've made since I've moved here. Almost a month now. It's after flying through. It really is. But I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. I've liked the tranquility, you know. It's totally different to living in the city, and yeah, I've really enjoyed that part of it. I can't knock living in it. I can't knock living in the countryside. I absolutely love it. But let me know if you've done something similar. Have you moved from the city to the countryside? Let me know down in the comments, and let me know some of your thoughts as well about the move, and whether you like it or dislike it. I'd love to hear from you guys. That's really it. That's all I have for today. I'll finish up this walk, go and collect the car, grab a bit of lunch, and get back to the warm house. But thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back soon with another video. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you all soon. Take care. It's long and fall.